Once again, I welcome you guys to the Make IT Simple YouTube channel. This video is continuation to my previous video, which is learning about Python. If you didn't go through my previous video, just go through it and come back to this video. I have given the video link in the description section. In this video, I'm going to explain about classes in Python. Right away, we'll get into the demo. So, classes are extremely important in programming and they are not specific to Python. In fact, a lot of other programming languages do support these classes. We use class to define new types. For example, so far we have learned the basic types in Python like numbers, and what we learned is like strings we have learned, and what we have learned is like booleans we have learned. These are some basic or simple types in Python. We also learned about some couple of complex types like list and then dictionaries. We have learned about it. While these types are extremely useful, but they cannot be always used to model some real-time or complex concept. For example, think about the shopping cart. A shopping cart is not a boolean or list or simply it's a dictionary. It's a different kind of thing. So we can use classes to define new types to model real concepts. So in this video, I will show you like how to define a new class and how these classes will have methods. What I'm doing is like I just remove this one. Let's create a list of numbers like numbers equal to 1, 3, 5. And what I'm going to do is like when I type these numbers and when I click this dot operator, we could access this methods or function available in the list of objects. Now similar to this, we are going to create a new type. For that, what I'm going to do is like we just started by defining a class using a class keyword, and right after that we need to give our class name. For example, I'm just giving point. Here the naming convention should be proper. The naming convention here is like capitalize each word of our class name, like the Pascal naming convention. The naming convention is different from what we used for naming the class and what we used for naming the variables and functions. For variables and functions, we always use lowercase letters and we separated the multiple words with underscore. But naming the classes, we don't use an underscore to separate the multiple words. Instead, we capitalize each word, the first letter of the every word. For example, if it is 2 word means like email client, like I'm just typing email client. Like this, you want to specify, like Pascal convention. Now our class name is like point. So for that, what I'm doing is like I'm just creating with the point. After that, we need to give the colon. So if I enter means it will automatically go to the some intent. So intent means that a particular piece of code will go over here. Now in this block, we are going to define all our functions and methods that belongs to the point. For that methods, I'm just giving define. Define is a short keyword for definition functions, and I'm just giving the method move. That's it. And now what if you see means if I define a method like as soon as I enter this parenthesis, the PyCharm automatically add the self here. This is a special keyword. I will explain this in the later one. So in this method, what I'm doing is like I'm just typing the print message. That's it. Print of move. That's it. And I'm defining another method called draw. As soon as I just give the parenthesis, the self will be added over here, and adding a print over here again. Print of draw. That's it. Now we are done with the definition of our point class. So what we do is like we need to add two lines of breaks, otherwise it will throw some error message like from the Python document. So with this class we defined a new type called point. With the type we can create a new objects. How to create an object? Let's see. So what is the object? First of all, object is an instance of a class, or a class can simply define the blueprint, or it can be a template for creating an object. And object or then actual instance based on the blueprint. So to create an object, what we do is like just type the name of our class. The name of our class is point, and we need to give the parenthesis. That's it. Like defining, calling the method. So what it will do is like it create a new object and then return it. It returns, right? So we need to store it in a variable. What I'm doing is like I'm storing it in a variable called point1. That's it. And with this point1, object. Now we can able to access its methods. See here, move and self and draw will be there. I'm just calling the methods point1 dot draw. I'm just calling this method. I'm just trying to execute this program. See here, it is getting printed over here. Now with the help of the dot operator, we can access all the methods, move and draw. Now apart from these methods, these objects like this point1 objects, this point1 objects also ability to have the attributes. The attributes are like a variables that belong to the particular object alone. For example, what I'm doing is like for this object, I'm just creating a attribute point1 dot x equal to 10. Like I'm just for the example of coordinates, I'm just typing point1 dot y equal to 20. That's it. Now what I'm doing is like print of point1 dot x. So I'm just added a attribute and accessing that attribute. Now let's see, I'm just running this program. See here the 10 got printed over here. Now if I create another object, if I try to access the attribute means, let's see. Again, to create an object, just make use of the class name point. That's it. So it return a variable and we need to store it in a variable. So I'm just make use of point2 equal to, that's it. Now what I'm doing is like I'm just using this object point2 dot x. Let's see what's happening over here. See here, it throws an attribute error because this point object has no attribute of x. Because each object is a different instance of our point class. To have attribute for this object, you need to have the separate attribute. For example, point2 dot x equal to, I'm just giving 15. That's it. Now if I run this class, see here it is able to over here. So I'll just try to recap everything over here. We used classes, like we used classes to define a new type. This type can have these methods that we define the body of the class, and also will have the attributes that can be set anywhere in the program. So if you have any doubts on implementing this class and its methods, just add in the comment section. I'll be very happy to help you guys. Thanks for watching my video. Have a good day.